What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to episode 206 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the man who has reappeared, Brevin the Dude Stanford. What's happening, Doug?
What are you talking about? I'm gone now. I'm gone. I'm gone.
He's back, baby. How you doing, Doggy Dog?
Yeah. Doing good. Just chilling, acclimating to my new residence. Still needing to set some things up here, get some flashy lights and stuff. I've been playing Elden Ring, and it's all your fault.
Yeah, it is. Fuck yeah, it is, baby.
I am in the process of being one with getting good right now.
Yes. One eventually gets good, but you have to beat it first before you can say I've gotten good. And then you.
But you haven't beaten the game yet, so you can't.
I've beaten 4 other Dark Souls games, so that's fine. That's okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, you watched me one phase the second sister on Fallen Order.
I want to see you get. You know what? I'm not even gonna go. I want to see you get the fucking Sekiro. Okay, get through fucking Bloodborne.
I did play the shit out of Sekiro. I haven't played Bloodborne yet, but I'm kind of just waiting for a PC port.
Yeah, dude. But if you haven't finished like the last 3 bosses in Sekiro,
no, I didn't.
Which
get that far.
are
They
so
took it off
insane.
Game Pass. They took it off Game Pass. That's why I couldn't beat it.
So good.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Understandable. Well, anyways, I want to dive us in through here because we have a lot to pack tonight. We also have the man who eats, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton. What's happening, dog?
Well, just chilling.
You got a Diet Coke,
Cheers.
baby?
Cheers,
Bro, I always got a
DC,
DC, bro. Always got a DC, bro.
I got you.
Always got a DC on me.
Brevin give you a cheers, though. I'm just gonna leave him hanging like that.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him. My bad. Cheers.
There you go. So I had a Diet Pepsi today, and I felt like a fucking traitor.
Yeah,
so I drank.
That's treason.
I only drank a little more than half of it. So what the fuck am I doing? And I went and got a Sprite instead.
Yeah, because that's the
Better
acceptable
choice.
alternative to not having a DC.
Yeah, I was a fool.
Listen, no. Sprite is always the first choice. Spicy water is
water
over.
definitely is the.
Okay,
I do
but
love me some
Tropic
Sprite,
Berry
but,
Sprite.
it really depends.
Yeah.
Tropic Berry Sprite does
Yeah.
fucking hit.
Tropic Berry
Oh,
Sprite.
true. Ernell's seen me do
Peach
this
Sprite?
before.
Peach Sprite is nuts.
Peach Sprite.
That one, that's just
Ernell's seen me do this before at the movies, though. I'll put in like a third of ice in my cup, and then I'll do like a third lemonade and then Sprite when I'm at the movies, and
So
it
what
is
I'll
one
do-
of the most refreshing.
What I'll do
things
is I'll
ever.
take a large cup, fill it like 3/4 with Sprite and ice, and then I put some gummy bears and some cough syrup.
Okay.
I'm like, all right.
We also have the tropical Sprite herself, the wonderful Genesee Queen of Bitchin', Gabrielle. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How's your weekend? We haven't had you here in so long, Genesaw. How are you and your little sucker?
Me and my little sucker are good. Just sucking as I do. It's become a problem actually. I got a little bag of just the bubblegum
Oh my
flavored.
God. 75 count of dum-dums, huh?
Because I'm slut and I love dum dums, and so that's how I've been. That's about it.
All right,
I'm
I love
just
that for
sitting
you.
here
I didn't say it
writing.
as long as you said it, and I did not say it. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not a part of this. I'm not a part of this at all. That's okay. We also have the other slut of our show. It is the man, the myth, the legend. We got him, baby. It's twitch.tv's DJ
I'm a virgin.
So how's it feel to be the second place slut? You know what I'm saying?
Don't let him. Don't lie to us like that. I'm a virgin. Are you? Because are you saying that you're not the first place slut? Because I don't believe you.
I mean, we're all first place sluts, right? Tell me.
Okay.
But wait, if everyone else is first place, and why am I second place?
Then
Well,
yeah.
You're first
Why
place. You're
doesn't he
first.
get
You're
to
treating me like a second-class citizen. You're
No,
becoming just like the man.
No. I'm
Virgin
treating you
can
like
be
a
sluts
second
too or now.
class slut. You know what I'm saying?
Discrimination.
Better than a citizen. Better than a
Discrimination.
citizen. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do you? What? I don't like the. I didn't agree to these terms, nor did I consent to it.
You know what? That's okay. DJ, how's your day going, dog?
It's going good. I relaxed. I don't have class today, so I slept in. Me and my friend Z went to go eat some nice pasta. She was good.
Some
She
nice
was delectable.
Some nice pasta. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's this place called like La Cantea, and this shit's I got their I don't know how to say it, like their La Cantea Milanese, like
okay.
which is like they have like fucking fried like fucking chicken with fucking veal and on prosciutto on top with cream sauce.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's good. Shit was good.
I see you on that.
And then Z had the grouper. The grouper was fucking delicious. I've never heard of grouper before.
Never heard
but
of
it's a
grouper?
fish.
Yeah, it's fish.
What is
It's a fish.
It's definitely. I mean, I've heard of it. Like, but I've never like seen it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen it cooked. Like, I know of grouper through fucking Stardew Valley fishing. Like, that's all I know of grouper.
Good game. Good
and
game.
yeah, so yeah, and then we had some wine, this red wine called I think it's called the Walking Fool, which is nice. It was good.
I like it. That's La Lega Stupido a
What?
right? That's how you say it in Italian. I don't know.
I
don't know Italian well enough to know the translation.
No, I think you just gotta speak more with your hands, and then it'll be Italian. Yeah. See, now I understand what you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
see?
I didn't say a
I
single
know,
thing,
yeah,
but
I
you
know.
understood me, right, Garrett?
That's how Italian works.
That's exactly how Italian works. babe, what was the name of the Japanese place we went to? What was it again? The sushi place.
Oh.
We were.
Momiji's.
What was that?
Momiji's.
Momiji's. So it's a Japanese place, but I heard the name and I was like, it sounds Italian. It's called Momiji's. So the entire time, like, Momiji's.
Poor Garrett.
Oh, Garrett, you Sicilian bastard. I love you. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry for what we're doing for you guys tonight, because this is the Good Kraken podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and soon have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services across the digital sea.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest on entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. Saint with the Yarg, thank you. We appreciate it. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. DJ, tell them.
Prime Gaming.
And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you that are listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Nobody? Don't give me the review.
Okay.
Yard.
Review.
Review. Thank you, DJ. it's usually review, but like Devin's out for the past 10 minutes. I swear to God, if we get another Devin disappearance in the middle of content,
Yeah,
I swear to
asleep
God,
on the fucking couch.
oh my God, dude, for real.
Pretty fucked up.
DJ, we have
Yes.
some captain's orders. My friend, God, you guys are just dropping my cues left and
DJ's
right.
the favorite today.
This is just killing me today. That's okay. Janice, I'll give you cues for the rest of the episode. Guys, our
no.
latest episode.
Bad idea.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Of all the things that we could be doing, that's the bad idea. Oh no, that's not a good sign. Guys,
Arnell referenced me as a second class slut, so I don't know if I. I don't know
He's
if I should
purposely
respond.
dropping your cues now.
Touche.
He's upset. You're a
Guys.
first class slut, DJ. You're just as slutty as the rest of us. Don't let him
Can we
lie to
just-
you.
Can we get rid of the slut moniker? Like I don't
No,
want to.
no, we can't. We can't.
No?
I mean,
That's like a
the
permanent
rest of
tag.
us are sluts, so you cannot be one if you want to not be one. But yeah.
Guys, our most recent episode of the Shipwreck Show is now live. That is available on your podcast service of choice and on youtube.com/Good Show. And that episode, we talk a lot about a good old handful of food mascots that we want to bang. And we rank them. We rank them from most to least bangable in the top 5 consensus of all the, top most popular food mascots. And fun fact, it's wild. It's a wild list. We get into some pretty nitty gritty stuff. That was actually a recommendation question via our own Genesee Gabrielle, who just delivered the goods. You know what I'm saying? Just gives us the content. But you guys can catch that over there, and it'll be right there for you. In the meantime, guys, please, the rest of our month is still going to be a little bit hammy weird. This next week we have a fairly relatively normal schedule, but next week things are going to get a little bit weird again. We have to flip some stuff around to accommodate for us doing our review for Mario Brothers, but also doing our review for Evil Dead Rise, which will be happening next week as well. So please just keep following up with us at the end of our episodes, or go check out our Discord where we post, actually, our lovely Garrick posts our weekly schedule every Monday that you guys can find there in a little section called Weekly Schedule. Nothing special there.
Crazy, right?
just keep it nice and clean cut. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy
Professional.
special. Exactly. So, don't know where Devin's at still, but I guess we will just go ahead and keep things pushing here. Guys, so we are going to move into our final, only main segment here today. Garrett, could you please let the people at home know what we're doing next?
You better protect your neck. Because we headed to the gallows.
Let's go. Wow, you did that very aggressively. I was not prepared for that one. That was fucking wild. So
He's still angry about the Italian joke.
I do not blame him. 100% not a blame to be had for this man. So the way we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to go ahead and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on some of the statistics of each movie here. Actually, let me back up. I'm sorry. Guys, we're ranking Phase 1 MCU. My mistake. Here. Yeah, let me back here. Okay.
What are we doing?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 1, our official rankings. We are beginning this now, and then going forward, each quarter, we'll be adding on another phase of the MCU to our overall rankings as a whole. Until eventually we're caught up and we have all of the MCU movies ranked together. And then we can do the B-animated movies. No, I'm just kidding. And just add those on, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm already stressing about eventually adding the TV shows.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
And we will be talking about that in the future. It'll be
I know.
It'll be an
because there's a lot of them now.
There are a lot of them. I mean, thankfully there's not like a crazy amount of them. And if we keep ourselves on top of things, then like maybe it'll be, easy to catch up later. I don't know. It kind of seems like they're leaning away from being so heavy on the show. So maybe we won't get as many going forward, but we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll have to find out.
I hope we have more. I love those.
We just need more She-Hulk around here. That's really kind of
Shut
the only
the fuck
show.
up. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Season 2? When's season 2?
I know, fucking right? Like, Jesus
I
Christ.
hate it here.
Can we confirm season 3, 4, and 5?
These guys walked away from all of the shows they gave us and were like, I guess that Ms. Marvel and WandaVision were fine, but give me She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, I gave Ms. Marvel flying fucking colors. Okay, I was like 100%.
Love Ms. Marvel.
Miss Marvel is great. I actually
I think it's my
went to watch
favorite.
it the other day.
It's a good show.
It's great.
Yeah.
Good show. Very, very
I think
good
it's
show.
my
If
favorite
I
of the
watched it
TV
before that
shows.
review, yeah, I would have said it. I would have said my answer. I mean, like She-Hulk was fun. She-Hulk was fun. I enjoyed She-Hulk. That's it.
Good show.
It's a fun show.
Good show.
A good show to me.
I do
Good
really
show.
like the romance in that show. I'll give it that.
Mhm.
The Marvel romances are hard to sell me on because they suck. But that one, I was here from the drop. I was like, lawyer. There's
I
only
know,
one
right?
option.
Double lawyer-a-thon, you know what I'm saying? Just lawyers
We love a power couple.
entangled, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, both super powerful, dude. Like, we need to have her on his show so that we can actually see their sex. That I'll take.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Satan
true.
Chat.
TV14
That's very
cuts were
true.
not it.
Satan Chat said,
Yeah.
"Look, if you just like She-Hulk for the butt, say so."
You know? Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That is where I'm at.
no opposition here. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's strictly there for Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Grossman says
That
it's
was-
actually it's the boobs, which is fair. That's also a fair assumption as well. Guys, let's dive right into this here, okay? So what we're going to do is we'll give you guys some information based on movies because it's been a really, really long time. Kind of get all of us caught up here on the same page, what, you know, the movies did back in the day. I'll have each of us give our top level thoughts of that movie, and then we will place it in a ranking based on each movie. So Iron Man obviously is just going to get placed. But then when we get to Incredible Hulk, we have to, as a group, decide whether or not it is better or worse than Iron Man. And then we get to Iron Man 2. We have to decide if that is better or worse than Incredible Hulk, and then decide if that's better or worse than Iron Man 1, so on and so forth. And we'll work our way there. So without any further ado, we are starting with Iron Man. Released May 2nd, 2008. Directed by Jon Favreau. DJ. Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
My name is Chef.
Thank you, sir. Budget of $140 million. And a box office, Jesus Christ, of $585.8 million. And a runtime
It's a lot of millions.
of 2 hours and 6 minutes. So Devin's not here currently. I just texted him to make sure that he's good. So I'm just waiting for his reply or whatever the fuck he's doing. So we're going to go over to DJ. DJ, your top level thoughts of Iron Man 2008.
Dude, just like I fucking remember it, man. This movie is fucking gold. This movie, I like if the MCU just never existed and we just had Iron Man, like I would be fine with it because this was crazy. Watching this back, I don't think like you could have this movie now. You release this movie now. And it will still hit because it's so nice. Jon Favreau is a fucking genius. Okay, fucking love Jon Favreau. Anything he touches turns to gold.
Ain't that true?
My name is Chef.
My name's
that's it,
Chef.
yeah. My name is Chef.
Continue, DJ.
Chef is a great movie. Go watch Chef. Go watch Chef. That's my comfort movie. I love that movie.
Cheers. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, like cinematography is pretty good. Just introducing Tony Stark as a character and understanding like the context of like how RDJ was just like everyone looked at that guy like he's a fucking lunatic before this fucking movie. Like this guy is off the rails, and then he fits in this role perfectly, and it is the start of something insane. And yeah, this is it's hard to top this in my opinion. It's hard to top Iron Man 1.
I like it. Garrick, let's move to you, my friend. Your top level thoughts on Iron Man.
Without Iron Man, the MCU literally wouldn't exist. Period. Punch it, send it, mail it home.
Get it
Period.
signed. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, like that's Iron. If Iron Man flopped, we were done. It would have stopped where it started because we've gotten several other iterations of Marvel characters throughout the years, and they've all been met with incredibly mixed receptions. And the MCU is actually way by far from perfect. But I think I'm along with DJ that, like, honestly, if the MCU didn't existed and it stopped and started with Iron Man, I'd be so happy. Um, like I absolutely love Iron Man, and I thought it was just such a befitting character, and you can't deny that it is one of the best, if not like the best casting in all of the MCU. And that's a hill I'm kind of willing to die on.
Sure.
Like there are some other people that are like so close, but I think Robert Downey Jr. As Tony Stark was just a like lightning in a bottle casting choice. And he embodied the character so well. Honestly, it still holds up surprisingly. Even like rewatching it, I was just like, I would remember like I was like, why is this some of this CGI feel some of the better than some of the Phase 3 and 4 movies that we got like towards the end? We're like, what the hell? It was an incredible quality film for the budget they were working with at the time, and I'm grateful that it was a success.
Yes, absolutely. I like it. Devin is letting us know no, not Siri, fuck off. Devin is letting us know that Amos got sick, so he's having to hop off now. But we'll see if we can catch up on with him later. So, with that said, Genesaw, your top level thoughts. Oh, and I already know half of this of Iron Man. Go ahead.
It didn't age as badly as I thought it was going to.
Oh, there we go.
That being said, yeah, so the movie is great for a terrible character. I know that's a big statement because a lot of people love Iron Man, but I'm sorry, the douchey rich man who uses women and like has a tiny bit of a moral compass, who's like that it's still all about him. Like the rich narcissist didn't age well for me.
Sure.
It's not interesting at all, and it's like I don't think it was that interesting even in the context of the heroes that we had at that time. But I will say that it was a very well done superhero movie for its time. Like seeing the stuff that we have now and watching it back, like I was really impressed with the CGI. The dialogue and stuff was fine. I think it's hard to work with a character who is kind of shallow, like to make like really interesting relationships and dialogues in that way, but like in terms of like progression of the movie and like how it was shot and how it was set up, that was all done flawlessly. And I would definitely agree with DJ that like it would have if it was standalone, like it would have been a really good standalone superhero action movie for sure.
Sure, I like it. Now, I do want to ask you very quickly too. Do you deem that the fault of the character itself, or is that the fault of the movie?
It's kind of hard to tell for me because I'm not like super into the comic books, and like when I do delve into the comic book stuff, it's because I'm really interested in the character and I want to see where they come from. I've never done that with Iron Man because I don't have an interest to know him. So for me, they're like kind of one and the same. But I really don't. I mean, I think that the movie did as well as it could have with what I consider to be a not dynamic character. So I think it's more of a fault to the character than it is to the movie itself. I think the movie did a lot with what it was given in terms of Tony Stark.
Fair enough. Okay, I like it. Yeah, I genuinely to this day very much enjoy Iron Man as a movie. I think that Garrick's right on the dot. If it wasn't for this movie banging as hard as it did, we never would have got the MCU. And that is a testament to how good of a superhero movie this movie actually is. I mean, we at this point, all intents and purposes, we really had only seen a very small handful of superhero movies try to do what the MCU was getting ready to do, right? As far as giving us, superhero content as that is, going to be considered and, solidified for the future. Iron Man, I think, holds up extremely well to this day as a movie. The CGI is fucking incredible. Like the CGI in this movie is really fucking good. Like I remember specifically like seeing the scenes, and just to let you guys and everyone at home know too, we're going full spoilers on this. Like we're totally like, if you haven't seen these fucking movies after more than a decade,
We're
I
at
don't know
phase
what to tell
5,
you.
man.
I don't know what the fuck to tell you, dude. Like that is why I'm sorry. We won't do future spoilers, okay? We'll try to refrain from talking too much about what happens in the story, what we know in the story, so we can just kind of start off fresh and continue our thoughts from there. So with that said though, there's the scene where Iron Man goes after he's gotten his suit made, and he's like, all right, like I need to stop these guys from using these weapons, and he goes and tries to destroy the bunker bombs and saves all those people in the Middle East. His suit looks crisp in that fucking scene.
Yeah.
It looks so good. The dynamic shading that's in it, the lighting, the highlights of it, even like the small textures and stuff from it being like beaten up from dust and dirt and explosions and shit. Like the movie looks incredible for it being 2008 Marvel, right? The story is pretty cut and dry if we look at superhero movies as a whole, but I think what this movie did so interestingly is it gave us a superhero origin story that didn't just like feel like sort of a throwaway topic. Like it was thoroughly a like genuine origin story, and that was something that we just hadn't really gotten a lot at the time. And to this day, I look back on this movie, and even while watching it to get ready for us doing these rankings, I felt like Iron Man was worth every single dollar that it made. I mean, like $500 million, more than $500 million for the very first MCU movie. They fucking nailed it with this. And even though, like, I do have some places where I agree with Genesee has said about Iron Man not necessarily being the most dynamic character on the world, this movie is just fun. It is a fun superhero movie, a fun entry into this massive slew of movies that we're going to be getting in the future, but again, not going to dive too deep into that. This movie is so fucking rad. I love it every time I watch it. I've probably seen this movie like a good 10 times at this point, and it just hasn't gotten old to me. Like Iron Man as a character is cool, but all the other characters around him are so much fun. I mean, like to this day, like, oh shit, oh, Devin's back. Okay.
I just had to take care of stuff. Sorry.
No, we mentioned how's Amos? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He threw up a few times, and I just took
he-
care of it. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But I'm just monitoring him. I just laid down some towels, and he's laying on the floor over here.
Keep an eye on baby boy. I got you. It's
Yeah.
okay. No worries. So I'll finish up here, and then Devin will catch you up on how exactly we're doing this, and then we can move into your thoughts on this. Okay. So anyways, yeah. In summary, Iron Man, I think, has aged magnificently well, and honestly, like, holds up amongst a lot of the MCU movies, even some recent ones that we've gotten, to be completely honest with you. I think Iron Man's fucking gold. So Devin, what we're doing is we're going through each movie, giving our top level thoughts, dicing it up really quick, and then after that, we'll place that movie in the rankings. So obviously for Iron Man, we're just going to be placing it just dry as is, and then moving in Incredible Hulk. But after, so basically we'll just be placing that. When we get into the other ones, we just have to determine whether or not it's better or worse than the top movie list and work our way down. So,
Okay.
Devin, we all finished up here. What are your top level thoughts on Iron Man?
I think it's one of my favorite MCU movies overall. Honestly, I think it's one of the best origin stories. Actually, no, I will say it's the best origin story. I feel like in the
wow!
MCU.
Oh, you said the best. Oh wow! Okay.
Listen, I didn't just watch Phase 1 recently. I watched the whole MCU saga. I just finished it 2 days ago, actually, with Thor: Love and Thunder. I think it's my favorite origin story in the entire MCU, and Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark as Iron Man is probably one of the most on point castings that we've had, because not only is he just himself as RDJ, but he is the epitome of Tony Stark, whether you take comic source or from the movies or, you know, even
What
video
have you,
game
yeah.
material. And Iron Man is just actually kind of like one of the cooler characters in my opinion. It's kind of almost like that Batman vibe, you know, rich billionaire becomes superhero, doesn't have superpowers, finds a way. But I think he has a good arc in, you know, as just coming to terms with his wrongdoings and realizing that he needs to do better. And yeah, I just think Iron Man is probably one of the stronger phase 1 movies out of the
All
MCU.
right. I like it, my friend. So that leaves us to now get into the first of the rankings here. So we have the GK's official MCU rankings, and right now we are landing in Iron Man. So I'm actually gonna increase the size of this because it's a little bit tiny. There we go. 15 is probably good.
That's
So
what she said.
yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? Let's fucking go, baby. So next, ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gents, let's move into The Incredible Hulk, released June 13th of 2008, directed by a Louis Leterrier, a budget of $150 million, and a box office nowhere near Iron Man's at $264.8 million, and a runtime of an hour and 52 minutes. So let's go ahead and move. We'll continue in the cycle, except I'll have Devin go before me. So DJ, go ahead. Your top level thoughts of The Incredible Hulk.
It's crazy that both of these movies came out within like a month of each other, and there is such a stark difference in terms of quality in my opinion between Iron Man and then The Incredible Hulk. It's like I can't even imagine May 2nd you go see Iron Man, you're blown away. It's 2000, you're blown away, and then you're like, Incredible Hulk's coming out next month. You go see it, and you leave the theater like they're under the same. This is Marvel still. This wasn't like this wasn't just like like I don't know. I don't think this aged as well as I thought it did. Like I even back then when I watched this movie and I was like 7, I didn't care for it. I was like, okay, Hulk has never been the Incredible Hulk has never been a character that I really gravitated towards. So maybe that's like where my biases come in, where I don't really care for this character. He is a cool story, but this film doesn't help it. Some spots it looks this looks like 2008. Like some parts of the movie, you're like, this movie came out in 2008 for sure.
Yeah, right.
And but there's some things that I really enjoy. I don't know. I didn't like Abomination looks good. Like comparatively, like for its time, like I'm like, oh, he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like you know, the CGI here doesn't look too bad. It's, you know, might notice it, but like it still works, especially for 2008.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't really care for the Incredible Hulk, so this rewatching this did not help. I was like,
sure.
okay,
For sure.
yeah.
All right, no worries. Garrick, your top level thoughts of The Incredible Hulk.
This movie was doomed to fail.
Like
I understand perfectly well that like Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk film was standalone and this was not a sequel, but that film had already left its mark on a character that already, in my opinion, is not strong enough to have a standalone MCU film, and I think they realized that, which is why they've never revisited the character in a standalone film, despite the fact that they had one lined up in the future, and it never happened because he's just better as a supporting character. He just doesn't fit well. his character isn't strong enough, and his story arc just simply isn't strong enough to propel a film forward. Because in the MCU saga that we have presently, most of Bruce's really, really, really impactful character moments happen off screen. Literally don't even happen in film.
Yeah.
Like a majority of it. Because it's just not needed, and it doesn't do anything for the overarching story that the MCU has in place or has had in place. I also think this the fact that this film was still owned by Paramount and published by a completely different set of individuals with a different set of goals in mind for their film, it didn't mesh with what Iron Man was trying to do in its projection with the MCU. Literally, the greatest thing about the Incredible Hulk is its stinger at the end, because it ties it into an already good existing film. But and sets up, the greater part of the future. But this, I don't know, this felt like such a massive misstep after the success of Iron Man, because the casting didn't feel very good. Edward Norton's not even a bad actor. I actually like him, but it was weird. Like, he felt like he was trying to way overact the hell out of the character and the film in general. The pacing and the dialogue choices were really, really strange. And aside from a couple of really cool action sequences, there was nothing that put it on the scale that the Hulk needed to be on to feel, well, incredible. Because it didn't. And honestly, I'm really sad that it wasn't more successful, but I'm glad that Marvel learned from it and decided not to give Mark Ruffalo his own film.
Fair enough. Genesaw.
I'm going to disagree with that last statement, because my top level thoughts are I wish that we would have had Mark Ruffalo from the start, and I wish it would have been with Marvel Studios from the start, because I think that the reason that the Incredible Hulk is bad is because it is the Incredible Hulk that we see now, not because Hulk is a bad character and that Marvel couldn't have done something impressive with it.
That's an interesting take. Okay.
I think that if Marvel Studios and Mark Ruffalo had been on it from the get-go, they would have done something really incredible with him, because even when he's introduced, we can't get there yet, but we're going to talk about when
future spoilers.
when Mark Ruffalo is introduced, it's different. It's a different Hulk. It's just different. And so I'm really pissed that this is considered part of the MCU, because it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't created as part of the MCU. It wasn't created by the studio. Like, it doesn't make sense. There is something magic about what Marvel Studios has done with the MCU as a whole. I might not like Iron Man, but I still know that he's an important part of the MCU, and his movies are good movies. Well, okay, the first one was a really good movie.
Sure. Okay.
But they didn't get to have it for the Incredible Hulk, right? So like I like, no matter what director we have, no matter what like who's the creative mind, like now we have Kevin Feige, but we've had other people in the past. Like, we haven't had one entity, really, like one person in charge of creative direction. And yet the MCU has maintained a really solid creative direction and a really solid backbone. And to throw the Incredible Hulk into that is just really unfair, because it was never a part of that. I think that I personally would just take it as like we see the Hulk as starting off in the Avengers. And I think that he could have had his own movie and like done well. The Hulk that is actually a part of the MCU. I think if they did it now, it would be stupid. It would be like what happened with Black Widow. I mean, that was just dumb. And I'll be mad about that for the rest of my life. I wanted a Black Widow movie so long and so hard, and we were cheated out of a good time. So yeah, that's how I feel.
We'll get to that.
He doesn't belong here.
Devin.
So, I mean, overall, the Incredible Hulk not a great movie. It's just not. Let's just put that in layman's terms real quick. Edward Norton, I like him as an actor. I feel like he's too smug as Bruce Banner, personally.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Bruce
because
Banner.
yeah, I don't like the way that he portrayed Bruce Banner. You know, Bruce
Sure.
Banner is supposed to be timid, is supposed to be, you know, like scared of himself, right?
Yeah.
Edward Norton wasn't. He wasn't. You know what I mean? He's just like, I'm the Hulk. I'm kidding. But it's I that movie was like the longest hour and 50 minutes of my life.
Damn,
Like,
it's rough out here, bro.
Okay.
Like, I would rather watch Thor: The Dark World over this any day.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Honey boobies. Hey, how you doing? With 69. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
It's-
Continue.
It's I mean, you know, we got Abomination, which does pay off later on in the MCU, right?
Yeah.
In a couple different ways. We got Theodore Ross, right? We have the introduction of Theodore Ross. We get Betty Ross, which we have not seen in the MCU ever since, which is supposed to be an actual pinnacle character in the Hulk storyline. Which is surprising we haven't seen her anywhere within, you know, the MCU since then. But also, like, Hulk looks so cheap in this movie. The
Yeah.
CGI was not great at all. Like, not at all. And some of the action sequences, they can be fun, but can be very disappointing in like the effects, you know, especially compared to Iron Man, which came out the same year. You know, like,
Yeah.
Iron Man looked incredible. The CGI in that movie looked incredible compared to that. And I do think Hulk does deserve another go at a solo movie, because there are stories, especially now in modern day MCU, that they can dive into that would be actually relevant and important, I feel like. So I will agree on that terms. I mean, we got, you know, lots of stories like World War Hulk we can dive into. We know that Wolverine is being introduced into the MCU. We can have a Hulk versus Wolverine moment.
Hey,
you know,
future spoilers. Don't talk too much on
hey, that's
me.
in the comics. Shut up. It's already been announced that, you know, huge jacked man is reprising his role as Wolverine
I know,
in
but
Deadpool
future
3.
spoilers. We're trying to keep this within the confines of people watching this and this only. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, anyways, this is definitely, I will say it right now, this is going to be at the lowest tier, in my opinion, out of Phase 1, 100%.
We shall certainly see, my friend. So this movie has a lot of fucking problems. This movie's got a fucking just slew of problems, and all those problems cannot be saved by how good Tim Roth is. I don't care. I love Tim Roth so fucking much, but he was not enough to save this fucking movie. There's just so many pacing issues, and I don't necessarily blame Edward Norton for being a bad Bruce Banner. I think this is actually a directional choice that more than anything. I think that they told him, "Hey, we need you to just be greedy and sweaty. Just be scared of getting caught." And so like the entire fucking movie, he seems like he's more terrified of being captured than he is of actually becoming the Hulk. And there's not a bit of me that we don't even actually see the Hulk until halfway through the fucking movie. Arguably more than halfway through the fucking movie, and they're trying to convince us that this is a Incredible Hulk movie. Fucking whatever, man. It's just like, I'm not gonna take up too much time here because I'm pretty sure we're all on the same consensus. This movie's not good. This is a very not good fucking movie, and just the egregious amount of issues that this movie had when they had back then only half of a clue of how they were going to be going about this rollout of movies, because we're about to come to it here between Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2. It's a 2-year gap. And I think they saw Incredible Hulk. Hi, Esco. Hello. We love you. They saw the results of the Incredible Hulk and said, fuck, we gotta fix this up. right? Like, we can't let this happen again because Kevin Feige has been fucking running this shit and trying to do this for like 10 years at this point. We got to make this fucking happen. Hydrate.
Longer.
That's just says hydrate. Ah, yes.
Longer
thank
than
you,
10
thank you.
years.
I mean, up to that point, up to Incredible Hulk. Yeah. So I don't know. There were so many issues. I don't think that there was ever any chance of saving this fucking movie. There just wasn't. In terms of how it holds up to today, it doesn't. It's actually worse that it's older. because even back then there were a handful of very good movies that came out in 2008, not including Iron Man, that showed that like you could still have a movie that has chops back then and still hold up. I mean, I'm pretty sure Inception came out in 2008.
Didn't Avatar come out in 2008?
Avatar, the first Avatar movie came out in 2008, I believe. Like, there's presentations that show that you can make a good movie in 2008, and Incredible Hulk was like, fuck that. He was like, nah, hold the phone.
Technology.
We don't need to be
was
part
it
of
like,
that, so.
nah.
So yeah, no, 100%. I don't even really need to say much else. This movie is fucking bad, and it's disappointing that it's bad.
I have a question, or no, though,
Yes.
based on that review. If you had a different director, would you choose, who would you choose to play the Incredible Hulk?
That's not Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo
Norton
does a
or
great job.
Marfalo, between the two of them.
Oh yeah,
Who
100%
would you
Mark
pick if
Ruffalo
you
for
had-
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Ruffalo, 100%.
100%.
He is a perfect Bruce Banner.
And we'll get to that when we move into like phase 2, obviously. But just this Edward Norton, I don't think Edward Norton really had much of a chance. He didn't have the opportunity to actually like give us how good Edward Norton actually is in other movies, because he's fucking outstanding in other movies. He's out fucking standing in other movies. We just saw him in Glass Onion, and he was incredible in that fucking movie. But when it came to this, they were just like, hey, we're looking for a very, very specific thing for this story, and you just give us that. And he was like, well, fuck, fine, okay. And even like fucking Liv Tyler coming out of fucking Armageddon, one of the best movies of our time, coming into this
Poorly
fucking
reviewed movie, actually.
just came into this movie. It was just like, oh well, we're just gonna toss her out of the fucking way, I guess. Make her like they turn the entire fucking movie into King Kong, and King Kong is a better story than what this movie dished out for us. This is fucking disappointing as shit. Anyways, let's move into our official rankings again here. We're gonna go ahead and go to here. So I think, and I don't like to go out of my way to speak for all of us as often as I can, but I think we're in agreement that the Incredible Hulk is worse than Iron Man, correct?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So that now puts the Incredible Bulk, the Incredible Hulk at the number 2 spot here. And now we're going to go ahead and give you a word from our sponsors. This piece of good Kraken content is brought to you by Glide mousepads. The world is changing, and the demand for PC gaming and work from home setups has never been as wild as it is right now. Having the best of the best in PC accessories only makes it easier to get your work done before you jump right back in to the fray of the digital sea. And Glide knows exactly how to make that happen for you. Glide Mousepads is the future industry leader in mousepads, offering beautiful, smooth, waterproof products made with eco-friendly materials and non-slip rubber in a variety of sizes that are guaranteed to help you get that next win. I've got one of these bad boys in my office at work. I've got one here at my desk right now. Devin's got one. Xander's got one. This bad boy is silky smooth, silkier and smoothier than even the silkiest of smoothies or soy milk or what have you. You can go to glidemousepads.com right now and use code Kraken for 15% off the Founders Edition mousepad in every size available. Again, that's code KRAKEN, Kraken, for 15% off any Founders Edition mousepad today. Our next sponsor is Rogue Energy. Late nights are pretty much commonplace for all content creators, and anyone here at GK can attest that late nights are kind of our only nights. Luckily for us, though, Rogue has figured out exactly how to give those late nights and even earlier mornings the supercharge that we all need. Rogue Energy is a low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula that is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Every formula Rogue Energy produces is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients and no chalky textures. Again, we don't want that. We don't want that. Being the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, Rogue Energy strives to improve the in-game performance of gamers, streamers, and content creators around the world. Now, I know that we've been riding this train for a long time. You might be tired of us talking about this. You might not be tired of us. You might want to just support us anyways. And you know what? For those that do support us, we love you. But the best way to support us right now is to grab yourself a big old cup of Joe. When I say Joe, I mean this Rogue Energy stuff. I need you waking up first thing in the morning with a big old shit to get a big old shit. Oh, wow. You grab your Rogue Energy cup. Okay, you dip that you just scoop that bad boy right on there. You give that bad boy a shaky dakey, you know what I'm saying? And then you're out the dang door, okay? You need this beverage in your life. I cannot express that enough. You can head on over to rogueenergy.com and use code GKRAKEN for 10% off any purchase of shaker or formula tub of your choosing. That's GKRAKEN for 10% off any shaker or formula tub that you would like. Now, back to the episode. All right, let's go ahead and dive right back into here. Next up, guys, we have Iron Man 2, released May 7th, 2010, directed again by Jon Favreau. DJ?
My name is Shiv.
With a budget of $200 million and a box office. They fucking did it again, boy. $623.9 million, beating Iron Man 1, with a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes. DJ, your top level thoughts of Iron Man 2.
Man, Iron Man 2. You know what we got to do, man. That is another classic, another banger. Okay. I enjoyed this film too a lot. You know, introduces a recast for War Machine.
When
Look, they were figuring lots of stuff out in phase 1, okay?
We don't need to talk about the financial grievances of actors.
But Don Cheadle, I'm glad Don Cheadle is now officially a part of the MCU through Iron Man 2.
He's Captain Planet.
Be a better actor.
That guy. Love Don Cheadle. Can't get enough of Don Cheadle.
Listen, he doesn't have snow dogs following him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's just continue.
This again another fun movie. Expands the Iron Man character a little bit more. Again, kind of playing off of the your past actions and who you are affect your future type of thing. You know, and all this stuff. I just thoroughly enjoy this. Anything Jon Favreau touches, I'm there. I understand.
I like him.
He's my guy.
Hey, my name's Shiv. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Garrett,
Chef. You know what I'm saying?
your top level thoughts of Iron Man 2.
After rewatching it, I don't hate it as much as I did when I watched it the first time.
Sure.
But I still feel like this is just a ridiculously forgettable movie. Like I feel like if you blipped this from the MCU, like the rest of it would still be perfectly intact, aside from like a couple sprinklings of some pretty small things. And most of it was just. It was almost too Iron Man centric for what they were trying to do, oddly enough. Like, I know it was a direct sequel, and that might sound kind of odd to say, but like it just didn't feel like it was matching the early projections of the other films, especially like when you compare it to what they want with a couple of the other films we have coming up, where like it broadens the MCU so drastically. This felt like it was still kind of narrow scoped and like early vision, and I felt like it felt a little flat. I didn't hate it, but I felt like it was just forgettable.
Genesee.
Second that. I had just watched it Friday and I like had to look it up on Wikipedia to remind myself what happens in this fucking movie because it's already left my brain. Like he was just like, from what I do remember, he was just a whiny baby. And like there aren't many times when I'm gonna be on the side of the United States Senate, but this movie was one of them because they weren't wrong. Like,
That's true. I
this
agree with that one, yeah.
entitled drunk jackass is running around blowing shit up because he can, unchecked. Like, fuck him. I'm not on Iron Man's side in this. And then he like retaliates on that by being more of a drunk jackass. I was like, and then at the end they're like, but he's the good guy. I'm like, what? How? Like he in this movie more than anything, he was oh god, I already forgot his name. The real life rich douchebag, the one with the Teslas. Elon Musk.
Steve Jobs.
He is
Steve Jobs is in Jurassic World.
He is the MCU
Jeff Bezos.
Elon Musk. And like I'm Jeff Bezos. See, they're all fucking the same.
Yeah.
They're all
Same.
fucking the same.
Yep.
Anyway, them, the jackasses, he's just them with a suit.
Devin.
I am the complete opposite take as you guys. I actually thought this movie was fun.
All right, dude. All
I
right.
think that's just because I like Tony Stark being a jackass. I think it's hilarious. So
That's fun. You talk about it a little.
So I like how snarky he was and kind of smartassy in this movie, and obviously I like really do hate the U.S. government. So him sticking it to him was, always good. And but I think this movie it could have had a little bit better writing, honestly. But I thought the pacing was pretty good throughout the movie. I thought it kind of went to beat pretty good. I like a lot of the set pieces it had. I especially love the Senate courtroom scene when they're like, "Oh, the world is like copying your technology," and he's like, "Oh, really? Oh, like, hey, that's Justin Hammer. Let's see how he's doing right there," But I wish Mickey Rourke's character was more fleshed out in this movie. Honestly, I wish he had more story behind him and more like he needed more depth and more stakes behind him just hating Tony Stark because of using a technology that his father like worked on with Tony Stark's father. Like that seemed like very like, oh, you're rich and I'm not, so I hate you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So
Jag mentioned Sam Rockwell was the highlight. I wish he hadn't been used yet so he could play a different role now. Big agree. Big fat agree.
Yeah.
So two things I want to say. One, this movie has the infamous quote, "I want my bird."
I want to be burned.
But unfortunately, it does not have the even more infamous quote, "Tony Stark put this in a cave with a box of yeah, this movie is very happily mid as fuck. And I'm okay with it being mid as fuck. It is disappointing that it was mid as fuck because of how good Iron Man actually is in comparison. I 100% agree with Devin. Mickey Rourke's character, 100 times over should have been more fleshed out. Having him just sort of be Justin Hammer's crony in this situation, then having him sort of flip the script a little bit was just so like, I don't know, suspected. And like that was kind of my big taking point of this movie is they just kind of took a bunch of really safe decisions and did it. And that was kind of like the biggest bummer for me, but the story is fun and I'm okay with it just being a regular fun story. Cause at this point, I don't know if they really had a whole lot that they could do with Iron Man at this moment. You know what I mean? Like, we can talk after this movie. But I think that there was some development that they were wanting to do, but they were kind of just like, we can't quite pull the trigger on that character arc quite yet. Devin, go ahead.
One thing I forgot to add, I feel like this movie was also important in setting up the stage as to what is to come in the future too. because it had some introductions that leaned heavily into what the initiative is.
Yeah, I mean, like we see things like Black Widow is now like an important part of
Fury.
it. And yeah, there's a lot that happens in this movie that they kind of just used.
I forgot Black Widow was in it.
Yeah, they well,
I
and see
did too.
that's the point because she's in it.
She's in a lot of
but
it.
she's not
though.
really like
I was
in it.
so
She's not
angry
really, like-
with how they introduced her.
she's not really like doing important things. You know what I mean? Like she's there,
She's
she's
not
president.
her.
And exactly. And that's kind of like the part that like bummed me out the most. Where it's like this movie does some cool things. Like the entire like concept of having all the Iron Man suits fighting like is fucking dope. That is a super fucking dope concept of like how they go about that and then like moving into War Machine stuff. And that introduction obviously was that entire final fight scene is fucking cool as shit. I don't care what anybody says.
It's actually awesome.
It's dope
whole-
as shit. Like having him back to back with Iron Man was one of the coolest fucking moments ever. But the rest of this movie is just so incredibly mid, it couldn't make up for it for me. So let's go ahead and move into our rankings, guys. So DJ, I want to hear from you very quickly. Where would you put Iron Man 2?
Definitely below the first one. Like I agree with what everyone's saying. I think I enjoyed it. My time rewatching the movie because I like the Iron Man movies. It does something for my ADHD brain, and it just scratches that for me. But yeah, it's definitely better than the Hulk.
Okay, cool.
Like,
So you put it
agree
on
on
number
that,
2.
right?
Yeah.
We
So we'll make
It's
this
not-
easier. So Garrick, is Iron Man 2 better than Iron Man?
No,
Is Iron Man 2 better than the Incredible Hulk?
absolutely. This is middle of the pack.
Genesee, I ask you the same question. Is Iron Man 2 better or worse than Iron Man?
Better than Iron Man. Worse than Iron Man. Better than the Hulk.
Devin?
Yeah, 2. Put it in 2.
This is definitely better than Incredible Hulk and worse than Iron Man.
All right.
Things go boom.
There we go. I like it. Unanimous.
Unanimous.
All right.
Unanimous.
Then we'll go ahead and move back here so we can talk a little bit about Thor. Released May 6th, 2011. Directed by Kenneth Branagh. A budget of $100 million and a box office of $449.3 million with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. DJ, kick us off here. Your top level thoughts on Thor.
You know what I said about Hulk, like me not caring about like the Hulk really? Double that for Thor.
Jesus. Okay. All right.
Okay, there's a reason. I remember watching this movie and I didn't like it. I don't know why. It just doesn't do anything for me. Like I enjoy Thor as a side character in the other like MCU movies like after this, but I can only count. There's only one Thor movie that I watched that is like standalone that I thoroughly enjoy. So I don't like it. I don't like how Thor came about. It rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like it.
I like it. All
I don't
right.
like it.
Well,
I don't like it.
yes, that's
I don't like
fine. Garrick, your top level thoughts on Thor.
I fucking hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie. I hate the first Thor so fucking much. It is literally the worst costume designing in all of the MCU. It looks so cheap front to fucking back. And I hate Natalie Portman as Jane Foster on all counts. All counts. Their chemistry sucks. I hate this fucking movie.
The best top level review Garrick has ever done in his almost 3 years of being on Good Kraken.
He's
I
never
love-
hated something
that
so
is the
much. man.
Love
Most
that review.
fucking that was great, Garrick. I love it. Genesee.
I just want to formally welcome Garrick to the Haters Club because usually I feel like I'm just sitting here hating on everything. So welcome. I also hated this movie, and I'm really glad I wasn't alone. It just wasn't good. It's boring, and it's really frustrating because Thor is a really interesting character. Like,
I love Thor.
Like, Thor is a fucking god. Like, Thor has like mythology in our world, not even just the comics. Like, so good. But yeah, no, he's boring. He's like a child throwing a temper tantrum that's gonna cost people lives. And then he comes to Earth and he like changes himself for a woman. And I'm like, okay, I love women too. That's still boring as shit.
Yeah,
you don't change yourself for a woman. You become a better person so that you deserve the woman. Asshole.
Yes.
Oh my God. So then we have this like brilliant scientist woman who's putting up with a 1,000-year-old child. Like, anyway, yeah, garbage.
No, I get it. I get it.
Devin,
I concur.
are you gonna be the lone soldier again? Your top level thoughts on Thor.
Yo, this movie fucking sucks. Catch me falling asleep. No, really, I like Thor in this movie compared to Thor in anything else.
Hey, be careful.
Is just like he's so arrogant. He's so annoying. Every decision he makes me want to burn myself alive. Okay.
Jesus Christ. We got heavy thoughts on this. Good God.
No, really, it's painful to hear him speak in this movie.
Yeah.
It's literally painful. And the whole
so.
stupid cliche, like, oh, I don't know what a car is, blah, blah, blah. You're 1,000 years old. You're telling me you've never looked on Midgard? Like, that's the your main realm you defend. Like, what? How are you this fucking stupid? No, and like the Destroyer being the villain, or it's really Loki. It's just like I feel like I fall asleep before I even get to the climax of this movie. Every single time I've watched it, like after my first time, I remember seeing this movie and going, when I was like younger.
Yeah, fair, dude. Fair. This movie is boring as fuck. Oh my God, what a slog this movie is. Jesus Christ, man. You're telling me they said we're gonna make a Thor movie and he's not gonna have his powers for 4/5 of it. That's what they fucking did for us. They gave us a Thor movie and he wasn't even actually Thor for a majority of the goddamn movie. What a fucking bummer this goddamn movie was. They flopped in damn near almost every single avenue they could possibly flop, short of having Idris Elba be in this movie. that's like
more words on that. Idris Elba did not have enough screen time or enough written for him at all.
It's just like, dude, they had so many opportunities to turn this movie around at so many different scenes. Thor getting his powers back should happen way long fucking time ago, earlier in the fucking movie. The Destroyer being the big boss guy, it was just fucking awful. It was fucking terrible decision. Why they thought that Thor, his first main villain, was going to be that was fucking... Are you kidding me? Like, oh my God, dude! Like, compared,
they could have done so many things.
Especially because you had the Frost Giants right there, like they were in the movie.
Literally. Like, anyways, yes, this movie is just a fucking mess, and it fucking sucks because it is almost not a mess. If they would have just slightly tweaked some things, just a few things here and there, this could have been an all right movie, just like Iron Man 2. Instead, it's just, like it's just a massive, almost 2 hour and hour and 40 minutes of it is
that was long.
Thor
is so
just being normal. Oh my God, I can't for the fucking life of me get it. Devin, final thought. Go ahead.
The good thing about this movie was the introduction of Asgard and seeing it. That's it.
I mean, like Garrick says, like, the costume design is fucking atrocious in this, which it is. It absolutely fucking is. But the set pieces are good. How in the world they
Asgard
put
set pieces.
even
I
like
really
in
liked the
desert.
New Mexico ones.
Yeah,
too.
their set pieces were fine, but putting their fucking costumes in those set pieces, I mean, like we got our first chance to see the Bifrost travel in this, and that looked magnificent. But that wasn't enough. Like I cannot believe you have the cool ass moment of the Bifrost coming down, the symbols are engraved into the ground that it hit, and then Thor comes out and he's got this stupid fucking cosplay outfit on. It just looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
And Mjolnir looks fine. That looks fine, but the suit looks fucking terrible. His street clothes look fucking not believable in the least bit. This movie's a goddamn mess, guys. This movie's a fucking mess. All right, like that's. I'm gonna end there before I go any further here. So, with that said, oh boy, we're getting into some fun details now. DJ, is
What's up?
Thor better or worse than the Incredible Hulk? Let's just go there.
It's actually worse for me. I'll be honest.
For you, it's worse.
Like-
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's worse.
Garrick. Let's just go there. I mean, like that. Like let's just jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we already know it's not than the other two. We already know that.
I actually think I do dislike this one more than I dislike the Incredible Hulk.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay. Shit. Goddamn. Genesaw.
I'm gonna be the outlier here. I think it's better than the Incredible Hulk, and I think it's better than Iron Man 2, and I don't care.
Whoa! Whoa!
She thinks it goes to the number 2. All
Oh
right.
shit!
I
Oh,
think it's
wow!
the
She
number
said what she
2.
said.
I hated this
Okay.
less than I hated Iron Man 2. I'm
Oh
sorry.
wow!
Actually, I'm not.
Fair
I'm
enough.
not gonna lie to you.
All
I'm
right.
not.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hey, we're here to respect. Devin.
So I can't really decide if I like Incredible Hulk more or Thor more. So heads is Hulk, tails is Thor.
Okay.
Thor's going below Hulk, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So I think personally the Incredible Hulk is worse than this movie. I mean, they're both fucking messes, don't get me wrong, but Incredible Hulk was a massive fucking disaster, if you ask me. With that said, ratio-wise, this has us put
I'd put us
Thor
at it's
above,
just above Hulk.
just above Incredible Hulk. Yes. So we are now
I'm all right
here.
with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm fine with this. Yes.
I flipped a coin for it, so
Genesaw, I love you. My apologies, but you've been slightly outvoted.
I know
so-
I'm the outlier on Iron Man. It's okay.
It's okay.
listen,
Well, I
it's
mean,
the coin's fault.
later on, when we have more movies to have them go through, and you like say something like that, it is gonna have to average out more in the middle. So like, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep it pushing here. DJ, my
Pushing
boy,
that
are you
Haterade.
ready? Are you fucking ready, my boy? Say you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Guys,
I'm ready.
Captain America, the First Avenger, released July 19th, 2011, directed by Joe Johnston. Budget of $100 million and a box office of $370.6 million and a runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes. DJ, your top level thoughts of Captain America, the First Avenger.
I see Captain America, the First Avenger clips on TikTok all the time. Like, I think this standalone is also like really, really well done. And I don't really see a lot of flaws with this one. That could just be me, but I don't know. Again, like Captain America, this makes me feel patriotic.
I can't believe you're bringing that back. All right.
No, it is super cool. Like the way it's set up, the way Captain America is set up, the world it builds around, especially around this like wartime, like World War II and shit like that. I think it's cool. I think it's a really cool movie. I think if you didn't buy into how this could be a universe by this movie, then you just don't like Marvel. You just don't like Marvel entities, properties, so on and so forth. Because this will make you buy into like, oh shit, like this is it. Like we're about to go see all these other characters get introduced as movies, man, because it'd be so fucking sick.
Garrick.
Yeah.
If there was one character story I could rip from the MCU and just watch it as it is, I think it would absolutely be Captain America's. And I think that is largely in part due to this first film, because this was genre blending in the best ways. Like, it was a war story, a well told war story. On top of that, a well told war story with that had honestly some of my favorite casting in any MCU movie to date. Well paced, well costumed. And I there's only one moment in this film that stands out to me. It's just like, that shit looks fucking weird, and you know exactly which scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's the skinifying of Chris Evans. Like,
Yeah,
and there was
that's
no way for that shit to not look weird. It was the nature of the way
100%.
they had to do it at the time.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like, if I could, I honestly, I wish I can't ever. It's a little Uncanny Valley. Like, that fucking shit looked real weird.
It looked weird. It looked weird as shit.
It looked real weird. But aside from that, this is one of my favorite MCU movies. I absolutely adore Chris Evans as Steve Rogers and as Captain America. I think he personified him so well. And I think that this did a great job of telling a war story without getting insanely political in all of the wrong places.
Yeah.
Genesee.
I love this movie. I've loved Captain America since he was a thing. And like, I really was concerned that I was going to watch it back, because I started loving him when I actually was patriotic. And I was really concerned that I was going to watch it back and be like, oh my God, I really was a terrible person, which I was, but not because of this. And he aged really well. His movie aged really well. The like stories in his movies aged really well. It really was like, I totally am with Garrick. Like, I was watching it and like, it was so uncanny to me how they like made it like they didn't just have a Marvel movie that took place in the 50s. Like, they had like a gunslinger movie, and like they had like a war movie, and like it was just so many things in one. Like that scene where they're outside of the place where he transforms, and the like the shootout scene, just so cool. But it all like, it felt to me the perfect blend of like going from like Iron Man and like the human superhero, and then mixing like the Hulk, and mixing like the Asgardians, like all of the more like alien space stuff, and like bringing that all into one place where it actually did make sense for it to kind of blend. And I thought it was just really well done. Really, really well done. And I love. Who doesn't love Chris Evans? You know what I mean? He's the great.
Goddamn right. Ain't that facts? Ain't that facts? Devin.
This movie's rad. All right. I'm going to say it right now. This movie's sick. I wish we had more prominent, like more movies with Hydra being prominent as the villain and antagonist in them. You know, I wish we saw it more out, because they did such a good job. And I love how they're just like, yep, these are the fascists. Kill them. Just kill them.
Yeah.
Captain America
Easy
out here
peasy.
shooting
Let's
people.
go.
Like, hey, this is a superhero movie, but you know what? He's gonna kill people. You know, this ain't Batman. You know.
Hell yeah, baby, let's go.
But no, it's just well written. The pacing is great. The set pieces are phenomenal. They really captured the feel of a World War II movie and within a superhero story, right? This is right there with Iron Man when it comes to best origins, in my opinion, because they nailed it. They fucking nailed it. Also, the casting was fucking incredible too. Everybody did their parts perfectly. I don't have any grievances on any of the characters on the ways that they were portrayed in this movie at all. If you have not watched this movie and you watch Marvel movies, then you're doing something wrong. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, man, this movie making less in the box office than Thor did is a fucking crime. I don't know
Yep.
what the hell us Marvel fans were doing back then, thinking that Thor was gonna deliver something that Captain America was born to fucking give us, baby. Because Captain America's fucking it, dog. Like, this movie, this movie, bro. I cannot believe this movie is this fucking good for being like surrounded by a Thor and an Iron Man 2 and an Incredible Hulk. This movie is fucking peak. Man, I can't think of a single real issue with this movie. The pace is perfect. The story does Captain America justice. It generally is just a good story told movie. All the actors are incredible in this. Like, all of them are fucking incredible in this. You guys are right. Like, they turned a World War II story into a superhero story and made that fucking work. Especially when like that happens and like that switch, and you like the scene where like he pulls out and you're introduced to Red Skull and you're like, oh shit, it's a superhero movie now.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
and it's like when that switch happens and it still works for the rest of the movie. Dude, this is incredible. Chris Evans playing Captain America was one of the best fucking choices Marvel has ever goddamn made. And he just personifies Steve Rogers in every way possible. And like, it's just one of those things like we talked about with RDJ playing Iron Man. Like, they were born to play these fucking characters, it feels like. And the rest is goddamn history, dude. Captain America is incredible in every way, shape, and form. It absolutely can't say a bad thing about it.
And having the same director who was like behind like Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Rocketeer do this, like, it just made sense.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
Yeah, 100%. So let's move into our rankings again. DJ. So if you could put it somewhere on this listing, Captain America, the First Avenger, where would you put it?
It's tough. It is a tough decision for me, but I think I'd put it above Iron Man.
Ooh.
After rewatching, I put it above
Let's
Iron Man.
fucking go.
All right. I like it. Garrick.
I think this one goes into the number 2 spot for me.
Oh, Iron Man's better than Captain America for Garrick. Okay.
It squeaks by. I mean, it does have the cloud of being the prequel to the greatest MCU movie ever made. but it's Iron Man's just, I think it got a little bit more pizzazz that just ups it just a touch.
Okay. Genesaw.
You don't even have to ask. It's number 1.
Number 1. All right. I like it. Devin.
Number 2.
Whoa! We got ourselves.
I mean, you heard me say it earlier.
Yeah, Iron Man's your
I think
favorite.
Iron Man is my favorite origin story in the MCU.
Well, Devin and Garrick, I hate to disappoint, but I would be picking this one as number 1. Listen, and it is barely to me barely better than Iron Man. Iron Man's fucking good.
Scraps.
But I know, trust me, I know. But Iron Man does have some problems. It does have a couple of little things in there that I'm like, like they probably could have done that a little bit. Like, and a lot like Rhodey, like, come on, man. He like I don't know, like before we got Don Cheadle, like, you know what I'm saying. But Captain America is flawless. It's fucking flawless, man. Outside of the weird Uncanny Valley skinny Chris Evans, that's literally the only thing I can think of that's a problem. And again, like Eric said, there's nothing we could do about that. So we're going to put us, Captain America, at number 1. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry. I know you built that in a cave with a box of scraps.
I'm not sorry. Fuck you, Tony.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
He's dead.
Good God, man.
Good.
So let's go ahead and move into our final movie. Guys, we did it. We're here. We're here now. The Avengers, May 4th, 2012. Directed by Joss Whedon. A budget of $225 million. In a box office of 1.5 billion. Holy
Yeah.
shit. And a runtime of an hour and 32 minutes. DJ, your top level thoughts of the Avengers.
This still holds up. I actually watch this movie more often than not. Like even before we decided to like rewatch Phase 1, I was like, I've always been like, let's watch the Avengers. I'll even put it on in the background. Like, I enjoy this movie a lot. Um, and I think there's a lot of people who agree with me. I think the chemistry between these characters, their dialogue between each other, it feels very natural. It feels um like they're actually having these conversations, and the tensions are high, and you're like, what the fuck is gonna go on? I think even the inner conflict between themselves was more important and more impactful to me than their fight with Loki and where the Shatari. Because it like that the dialogue between them, it was so cool seeing how they interact, like first meeting each other and trying to understand each other's fucking quirks, and and trying to like figure each other out. I think that was just really cool how they that story gets brought together like that. Yeah, this is a good movie.
Garrick.
Great movie.
Literally everything about this film is unprecedented. Its existence is a fucking anomaly. We shouldn't have, the Avengers shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened.
Yep.
If you look back at all the development hells of all the Marvel projects that have ever been lined up, all of the flops along the way, this film should have never existed. But it fucking does.
Let's go, son. Okay.
I love this movie. It is superhero in an ensemble on a scale never seen by anybody before. This was one, like at the time, this was literally like this was like Avatar level, right? Like this had never been done. This was a brand new, incredible, crazy thing. Uncharted film territory. And it feels it. And it still somehow manages to make incredible impact with being the shortest film in Phase 1.
Oh yeah.
Like like I loved this fucking movie. Like from start to finish. It is I'm so glad. I'm just so grateful that the Avengers film exists.
Genesee.
Yeah, I big retweet to everything that Garrick just said. We talk a lot about like, oh, this phase is better than this phase, and this couldn't happen without that, and like, oh, this is the best casting. But like, this movie, literally, like, the rest of the MCU couldn't have happened without this movie. The fact that this happened is wild. Like, I remember when this came out, and like, everyone was kind of dumbfounded. Like, we expected it to flop. We expected to feel from this movie how we feel walking out of every single DC film to ever happen. But we didn't. We felt amazing. We felt high as shit. And like watching this back and like especially like watching it now, like having the context of like all the Avenger movies that we have now and all the individual movies that we have now and all the character development that we have now, everything that we have now makes sense in the context of this movie. And you can't say that about every MCU movie. You can't say that about every Marvel character. But the Avengers that we saw in Endgame came from the Avengers that we saw in this movie. It's incredible.
It's a direct result.
The direct result. And like the antagonism, there's such a fun antagonism in like across the MCU, but especially like when we start building those Avengers relationships, right? And that directly comes from this movie. Like they do have like such like the quarreling is the villain. Like their disagreements and their butting heads is the bad guy of this movie. And it really is awesome because like I don't know, just watching it, I was like, their quarreling is so much fun. Like the little back and forths they all have, and like Banner and Tony getting along, and then like them calling everyone else stupid, and then being like, well, you're the dumb jocks, so like, you know, like it's just like everything, like you wouldn't be like we wouldn't be us without the muscle, you know, like it's just so funny. Like they're all like, it's so fun. And like I think this probably had some of the best writing of the MCU in my opinion. Like I was laughing the whole time. Not sorry, of Phase 1. It had the best writing of Phase 1, not the MCU. Best writing of Phase 1. It was just so, it was on itself. It was so good. And I love Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner.
We know.
I might be going through like a villain phase, because I was like, I pulled up to this movie and I was like, I don't remember liking him this much. Like he was like, when he got angry, I was like, oh, harder. Like it was just so good.
Stop.
Daddy.
Bonk. Bonk.
Daddy, yes.
Bonk.
I really was like this super intelligent man who wants to be good, but is just so angry all the time. My daddy issues were coming to the forefront, man. It was a disaster, and I was here for it. So good. Yeah.
Devin.
Okay, a few things. Iron Man Thor fight. Mark Ruffalo
Big.
as you know, Bruce Banner, Hulk. Loki getting hurled around like a rag doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this movie. Honestly, this movie is very fun. You know, like all of you guys have touched on, the inner conflict is one of my favorite things about the movie, because like it almost makes you uncomfortable in like a good way when they're like really getting into it on the helicarrier, you know. Especially in that one scene when they're all talking about the staff, blah 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 blah. There is a couple things I'm just like, well, if you let Thor just take him back to Asgard, you probably could have like not had the whole Shatari invasion and everything, you know. I mean, he does kind of belong to the, you know, Norse god realm. Just saying,
of course.
just saying.
Right.
You know, more American government being American.
I said,
government.
but U.S. government gonna U.S. government.
Exactly,
Yes, of course. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But this movie's fun. The action pieces and set pieces are fantastic. It set the stage for the MCU and what we know as we know it, you know, and everything that we've gotten.
All right. This movie's unreal, dude. This movie's fucking unreal, man. I like, to this day, I still go back and rewatch this movie sometimes when I just need like some hype in my life. Because let me tell you, okay, this entire movie is just one hype setup for like one massive, bigger hype setup near the end of the movie, right? And it's just like, dude, listen, like Genesee was saying, like we saw the announcement for this movie. And I know every single one of us are like, what? Like they're doing it, like, because we all like kind of had like an inkling that that's what they were reaching for. But like we see the trailers, and I know all of us were just jaw dropped, like, fuck, they're pulling it off, right? Like they're really pulling this the fuck off, dude. Like no other franchise has ever done it the way this franchise fucking did leading up to the Avengers. They were intentional about it. They made all the dialogue, all the writing feel right. All the character relationships were perfect. Everything about this movie is just dumbfoundedly good in every way fucking possible, dude. Griff, Iron Man 3 isn't in Phase 1. Shut up. I love you. Anyways, the Avengers is just cut and dry, so fucking good. I mean, like, from the moment we get Bruce Banner, like, that's the secret cap, I'm always angry, all the way up to the very end of that fucking movie. That is one of the most biggest fucking hype moments in fucking movies ever. Ever. And it's just, goddamn, dude, like, I don't understand how they made this movie this outstanding. Like, they really, like, said, like, we need to culminate this together, put all these characters together, and it needs to be the best movie of them all. And they were like, all right, fuck it, Kevin, let's make it happen, man. And they fucking did it, dude. They fucking did this movie. And to this day, I'm still just like, God, man, we're so blessed. We're fucking lucky we got the Avengers, dude. Like, we are so fucking lucky we got the Avengers because you guys are right. Like, it set up everything for the following decade. It set up everything that we up to what we have now and what we're going to get in the future. And I'm not going to dive into that, but god damn, this movie is fucking good. And I am so happy that we get a chance to talk about it together. So, DJ, let's have you kind of swing us in here. Where are you putting, in your mind, where would you put the Avengers?
Oh, I think we have to put it at the top, man. Like, considering all the praise we have for this movie and considering like how we talked about the other ones, and I know Captain America was great, but like I said, I always come back to this movie regardless, even though even though this is a themed, like we're gonna watch Phase 1, I was watching this way before then. I rewatched it after Endgame. I rewatched it a ton of times. I love this movie. So I think it swings up to the top.
Garrett, do you agree or concur?
Absolutely. This is the culmination of 4 years of hard work put into effect magnanimously. And I love this film. This one's got to be number one.
Genesaw.
This is really tough for me because it is such a good movie, but I do think I prefer Captain America.
Oh wow. Oh, Genesaw coming in. Okay. All right. Devin, let's move to you, my friend. Let's see what you have to say.
Number one.
All right. And I have to wholeheartedly agree. Avengers, by just the fucking tiniest smidgen, man, is better than Captain America, the first Avenger. The thing that the Avengers has for me is just hype factor. That's it. And like that hype factor is just fucking let's go like 8 different times in this fucking movie, man. And that is just so much more. Like the Captain America is good, but goddamn, the Avengers just does something. It just fucking does something, man. Oh, dude, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so the Avengers, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and thents. We have our official Phase 1 MCU rankings. We have number 6, The Incredible Hulk. Number 5, Thor. Number 4, Iron Man 2. Number 3, Iron Man. Number 2, Captain America, the first Avenger. And number 1, the motherfucking Avengers, guys. So now, going forward, every quarter, like we mentioned before, we will be adding on another phase to our official MCU ranking. So Phase 2, we are looking at Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, and then Ant-Man. Boy, I'm fucking excited to talk about that one.
I'm excited for that.
Look, we are going to have to start to make like these particular episodes like event episodes because they're going to get long.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
gonna
like,
get
hey,
long.
we have an hour 45, and that's, hey, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen, guys. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. Thank you all for being here to talk about this tonight. Guys, let's move into our schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, we have 7th Brevin making a big old fat return, where our boy, Devin the Brevin Stanford, is going to be a fucking crip. Phase 5 all time for last place. I fucking hate you so much. Dude, I'm at the point where Griff will say some shit about me, like making a comment about anything in Phase 4 for MCU. And he's like, dog shit. And it's like, fuck off, Griff. Guys, Devin is going to beat Resident Evil 4 tomorrow night.
Actually, I'm not going to be able to beat it tomorrow because I looked up the time, how long for me to beat it. We're looking at 4 hours for where I'm sitting, but I am near the end of the game.
Okay.
So I'm in some spookies parts.
Are you playing it at all tonight? Are you gonna maybe knock out?
I'm gonna play some of it tonight, kind of. But it also kind of depends if we're doing some more Tribes of Midgard or something.
Sure. All right, no worries. Well, you guys can expect some Resident Evil tomorrow night. Resident Evil 4 remake. To be
I am
specific.
very far. I am very far in the game.
Yeah, he's getting there. It's gonna be way more entertaining to see him playing it than my ass stumbling across trying to figure out how to play it after years of never playing that fucking game.
no dodge button.
There isn't. There is no goddamn dodge button.
Don't need it.
Yeah, that's
The
goddamn.
parry window's massive.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very big.
You can parry everything.
I was getting a hang of it near the end.
I don't even parry. I just kill them before they get to me.
Dude, for real. I was just like dodge kicking the shit out of people, like the little like kick, parry kick, kick. Fuck it, man.
It was shoot them in the head. Oh, they got 4 enemies around them. Run up, spin kick all of them at once.
Oh, dude, you can do that.
And you can watch that tomorrow.
Because I would go kneecap, kick, kneecap,
Nope,
kick.
you just shoot them in the head. I have a fully upgraded red 9, and I'd shoot him once in the head.
Jesus Christ. And then Thursday, we have an episode of The Shipwreck Show being live recorded right here at twitch.tv/GoodKraken Show. And you guys can catch us there. If you are in our Discord, and you are a Twitch subscriber, you have access to the Shipwreck Submissions channel where you can write in to the Shipwreck Show and very easily have your question potentially be asked on the show if we feel it will make for great content. And it is no bars hold back. You can ask us anything your wonderful mind can possibly imagine. If we think it's going to be good enough, we'll talk about it. It's going to be a fun time. So, and then Friday, we have a Vermilion Voyages instead of a Splash Damage, where our good old Garrick Bartholomew Eaton will be playing a hit indie game that is starting to pop off with creators all over the internet called Dredge. This is supposed to be a horror sailing fishing game.
It's a Lovecraftian like horror fishing game. Yeah. You should really stop by. I have horrible thalassophobia. This game really, really stresses me out. It's gonna be fun for you guys, and the story's incredible. But I'm gonna squeal a lot.
I'm here for it. If you guys want squealing, hang out with us on Friday with Garrick at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Saturday, we have another Good Kraken podcast at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, where we are going to be reviewing the brand new movie Renfield. That is, if you haven't seen trailers for that yet, you need to, because Nicolas fucking Cage as Dracula is gonna fucking take me out. I'm so excited for it, dude. So, guys, please hang out with us for those. Those are gonna be a lot of fun. Please also let us know what your rankings are for Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let us know if you agree with our rankings. Let us know how much of a fucking fool Genesee is for not liking She-Hulk. We want to hear from you guys on Twitter. We want to hear from you guys on Discord and in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. In the meantime, y'all, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you enjoy the show, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and soon have early access episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. Christ. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Review. Devin, Jesus Christ, I missed you earlier, man. Go ahead, we're rolling on out of here, everybody. But until next time, my friends, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.